Alright, what's going on, everyone? Happy Friday, man. Friday, man. A little lunch shift live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Dirty Bird Fly Through. I already know who I am, Chandler, your host. And today we're going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons speed movement. Um, Very interesting topic, I think, to talk about. I don't think a lot of people are talking about. But the Atlanta Falcons have a little bit of a speed movement that is commencing right now. So want to know what y'all think about it. But first and foremost, man, make sure y'all support the channel, and y'all already know how you can do it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, share out, and man, share it out, subscribe, and you see it up there, man. We got a new Cash App up there. Cash App $ Dirty Bird Fly Through. Hit up the Cash App. You already know what to do. And as always, the link is already there. So hit the link. Hit the link. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get right into this. So, the Atlanta Falcons, based on how they've went about a lot of this offseason. First of all, the Atlanta Falcons, already have obviously had their fair share of guys with the trait of speed in the building already. When you take a look at obviously our superstar Bijan Robinson, a guy that obviously we saw, especially this past season, just take off into a different level. And obviously, we know that, if Bijan gets one cut, he's gone. That's just the type of player he is. But this offseason, we really saw the Falcons put a focus on, above a lot of other things, we saw the Falcons build a team with speed. And that is, I definitely think, something that we need to pay attention to as fans, because it goes and shows us what the identity of this team is going to be. And what I think is actually pretty funny about it all is 2 years ago, there was a certain guy who is actually our former head coach who came up with the term, and I think it was actually a very good term, outrun the South. Well, I think the Atlanta Falcons right now are built to outrun the South. I think that's what the Atlanta Falcons strategy going into the 2026 season is if we're going to win the NFC South, we're going to have to outrun everyone. And honestly, man, to kind of just be completely real, the NFC South, it's not, they've all, I think Carolina has had a solid off season. I like some of the guys that they drafted. Lee Hunter, I think, is going to end up being a problem. New Orleans, I think they did make some nice additions. I think they made some good draft picks, and even Tampa, with some of the losses they had this off season, they still, I think, all things considered, had a solid draft. And obviously with Baker, they're not going to go quiet into the night. So the Atlanta Falcons, they had to they had to do something. They had to really form an identity, and so far that identity is speed. You look at the guys that the Falcons just took alone in this draft. Obviously, the guy that pops out is Zachariah Branch, with a 4.35 40, and as we know, he can just take off. He's a track star playing football, and that can create a situation where obviously already with the guys that you have, Zachariah Branch could really turn into an X factor if he is able to take it up to that next level, which he definitely has that second engine that is able to just pass by the defense. Also, man, even taking a look at what the Falcons did this offseason, picking up Jahan Dotson, a guy who he's got some wheels on him too. He can fly as well. And but particularly, man, with this draft and how the Falcons are building the future of this team. I mean, you take a look at it. Ontario Thompson, a guy that they picked late in the draft. Um, I mean, this dude is 6'4", 300 pounds, and he runs a 4.740. That's some type of shit that you only see built in the lab. Um, Harold Perkins, another guy who I think runs a 4.340. I mean, you're talking about guys that can absolutely take the top off. Um, and I mean, these guys just have a different level to them in terms of that gear. But I think that then also creates a big just as big of a question because speed is great, and at the end of the day, speed can take you a lot of places. Shit, if you can outrun just about anyone, then you already got a step ahead. But the thing is, as it's always been proven, man, speed, you got to have something to go along with speed. You can't just be fast and nothing else. That's like essentially you got the lemon pepper, but you don't got no wings to put it on. Like, come on. We gotta have something with that speed. And I'm gonna take y'all back, and I don't know another good example to put it. Dan Quinn, he used to talk about speed and obviously being fast. There was something along that went along with that. That was being physical. Now obviously we know how that ended. And that we don't look back on that in a particularly good light, but you got to have something that can go along with that speed. And um, if you don't have something that can really go along with that speed, then it's essentially all for nothing. And that's what I think a lot of people, are kind of getting twisted up. Is the Atlanta Falcons obviously have a speed movement that is commencing, but what is coming along with that speed? That's really my big question. Are we trying to go full on fast and physical 2.0, or are we trying to run that back? Is that what Matt Ryan's vision is? Are we trying to be fast and intelligent? Are we trying to be fast and bougie? What are we trying to be? Something's got to go along with that fast, man. So that's what it is. But at the end of the day, we see the Falcons have a prerogative, and they have a way that they think they're going to win. They think they're going to be able to outrun everyone. And I mean, shoot, when you look at both the guy, when you look at Tua and the guys that he's played with, I mean, Zachariah Branch, that is a Tua Miami type wide receiver that Tua would grow a connection with, just like Jalen Waddle, and they would grow a solid connection, and that could become a dangerous duo. Michael Penix, the same thing. Michael Penix has a rocket of an arm, and if Zachariah Branch can get in front of a defender, which he's absolutely capable of, and Michael Penix can hit him, you're talking about 70, 80-yard touchdowns. I mean, that's just the thing. But you're gonna need something else to go along with it. And that's really what I really think that's what is holding the Falcons back. But overall, I will say the Falcons have, in large parts, I don't think the Falcons have a completed roster, but I think the Falcons, have things that you can move forward with. You can, kind of say, you can at least sell it and get something back for it. It's not just like, the only thing you're going to get back is you know, Happy Meal toy and a expired bag of chips. You can get something back for this. But the thing is you need the guy that is able to sell it, and that's gonna have to be your quarterback. If you don't have the right salesman that is able to, exchange, these goodies that we have, it's just gonna be like every other season. And that's what I think a lot of people, they don't understand is the Falcons have the roster that could compete in this division. I think that the NFC South, it's looking a lot tougher than it did before the draft. Because I mean, look, you build through the draft. Like that's just what it is. You have to build through the draft, and you have to be able to sustain your team through a draft. And a lot of these teams in the NFC South, they're looking to, get back to the top. Carolina won the division last year at 8 wins. The primary way that you improve your team is through the draft. And New Orleans had solid draft picks. Carolina had solid draft picks. Tampa had some solid draft picks. And we had a solid draft as well, but what it's really what I think it's going to come down to at the end of the day is what quarter is there going to be a quarterback that is able to step up. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't care who it is, between Tua, between Michael Penix. Everyone knows that you know I've been on the Michael Penix train, and I still am. I want Michael Penix, come in here. I want the comeback story to be written. I want him to, be able to take over the reins and be this team's quarterback of the future. But at the end of the day, if that's not what it's meant to be, if Tua comes in here and Tua wins games and Tua proves to be capable and Tua can stay healthy, and Tua can, show that he can actually hang, in these big spots, then I don't got a problem with that. I don't. I want this team to win. But it's all about, is there going to be a guy that is able to take the reins? What's going on, Fandemic? What's going on? What's going on in the chat? Look, y'all already know what to do if you can. Hit the link, subscribe, comment, share out. You see the Cash App up there. Hit up the Cash App. Look, that's that's just what we're faced with. But tell me what y'all are thinking, man. Hey, if you can, man, if you're on lunch break or something, hit the link. Hit the link. Let's talk about it. Hey, it's Friday. What do y'all got planned for the weekend and shit? Y'all gonna go out? I know the early part of tomorrow, man. It's supposed to be raining like a bitch, but it's supposed to clear up later. So Sunday should be nice. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. We got a lot of stuff coming up too. We got the schedule coming out in a little less than 2 weeks. We got rookie minicamp probably start. I think rookie minicamp starts up sometime next week. And then of course OTAs are going to begin. So yeah, look, but hey, we need to talk about the identity of this team, and it's looking like speed could be the name of the game for the Falcons this year. Um, so make sure y'all hit that link and talk about it if you can, because listen, not every platform gives y'all the opportunity to do that. So you get an opportunity to do it, man. Would love to talk to y'all. Would love to hear what you all have to say about what you're thinking about this team in 2026. But I want to pull something up as well. Let's see. I want to pull something up. Just actually put into perspective how fast the Atlanta Falcons actually are. So Harold Perkins ran a 4.3840 at at the 2026 Pro Day for LSU. For a linebacker, that's fast. That's fast. Fandemic, what's going on? Fandemic says, I'm just ready to see if any of these new draft picks work out like last year's picks. Yeah, I mean, look, we got to be honest. You can say all you want about Terry Fontenot, but and Terry Fontenot did not have a lot of great drafts. You can essentially say that, the drafts were, the ugly head of Terry Fontenot's time here. I even think more so than the Kirk Cousins debacle, because at the end of the day, if the Falcons knew how to draft well, they, I think, would have been better equipped to handle the Kirk Cousins situation, even if you had to get yourselves in that situation to begin with. Because if you probably drafted better, you may have been able to find a quarterback that in the draft, and you wouldn't have had to go in and give Kirk Cousins $180 million. But last year, Jalen Walker, JPJ, who will be back with the team, and Xavier Watts, and Billy Bowman as well. Those are all guys that contributed last year when they played. Xavier Watts, in my opinion, really was, I think, one of the underlying stories of the 2025 Falcons and his just how smooth he looked. You never really saw a time where Xavier Watts didn't look like, a veteran out there. I mean, this dude almost slipped into day 3 of the draft, and he came out and put out a campaign that you could have easily made an argument he could have won defensive rookie of the year, and Falcon probably should have won defensive rookie of the year last year if we're being completely honest. Um, but yeah, man, yeah. The Falcons had a great draft last year, and you're looking to see if in Ian Cunningham's first year, the Falcons can keep up some of that momentum, and I like some of the pieces that we've put in place. Obviously, with Avieon, Zachariah Branch, who is my favorite draft pick, that the Falcons have made. Kendall Daniels, a guy that I think could easily be supplyable at the linebacker position. So, yeah, the Falcons had a very solid draft on paper, but it's all about delivering, on the field. OG,
What's happening?
man, what's
Good
going
morning.
on?
Good
Good,
Friday.
good, good, good
Hey
Friday.
man.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Lunchtime.
we
What you eating on for lunch?
I, believe it or not, man, I normally get me one good meal a day.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I just want to see. I know it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it. It depends on if I'm entertaining or something, or if somebody else suggested that we eat. I'll get into that. But if I'm by myself, I'm just kind of I'll eat small portions of
Shoot. I know that. Hey.
during the day. Might do a snack or two, but then at dinner, man, it's gonna be fucking football. So I got to come in here and join in. Oh well, he done muted or something. Oh yeah, but anyway, hey people out there, if you're in the chat, man, hit that like button, hit the share button. Um, hey man, he dropped the link for every of this season for the Falcons. I know.
If y'all can still hear me, let me know. If y'all can still hear me, please let me know. We're having some technical difficulties right now. Trying to get back with the panel.
And all of
Um,
that. But this happy about we're closing in on knowing exactly what's going on. I was discussing with somebody earlier today that the Falcons got a powerhouse of opponents this season, especially for those teams that are coming to the bend. Some of the infamous teams that have been subject of many conversations on the offseason. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited also. So, like I said, man, y'all just I can't see the chat. I need to learn how
hey,
to do
hey,
that.
can you hear me
Be able to
now?
look at the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Have you
Yeah,
heard me?
I can hear. I could hear you the entire time. Shoot. Hey, we had some
Okay.
technical difficulties, but yeah, appreciate you for holding it down. But listen, y'all already know
Oh
what's
yeah.
going on. Y'all know what's going on, man. You need to hit the link. you need to hit the link. He already told y'all, and you see the Cash App up there too.
Oh yeah.
So
Hey man, got to hey man, got to keep the lights on, people.
yeah,
Hey, well, look, I was just hitting on, asking. I don't know how many people in the chat. I need to learn how to do that to be able to look at the chat. But just you know,
we got
we got a powerhouse
Fandemic in
schedule
the
coming
chat.
up.
Yeah, we got Fandemic in the chat.
Oh man, come on, cowboy, you know better.
Man,
You got a backstage pass all the
he
time.
already hit me up. He hit me up. He's good. He's good. He let me know what was
Okay,
going on.
I was gonna say, man, he got a permanent backstage pass
Hey,
to
he
anything that's going on.
he trying to feed his family right now as we speak. So
Okay,
hey, I ain't
that
trying to
exactly.
interfere with that. You know, hey, get your money.
Hey, look, he already walking on thin ice over there because of how he get down with the Falcons. So yeah, man, we had to give him grace today.
Yeah, we going definitely. I'll have to give him a lot of grace.
Because Mrs. Fandemic has been a trooper. Miss Fandemic, aka Miss Cowboy, Cowgirl, she been a trooper, man. So, and he always talks about her. So we already know.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Hey, she probably about damn tired of him. You know, talking about the
Oh,
Falcons every damn hour of the day, thinking about the Falcons, dreaming about the Falcons. Like, goddamn, you can't find anything better to talk about than that trash ass team.
but hey, look, and probably always wearing red and black.
Oh yeah, you're like, baby,
But
you
yeah,
don't
man,
got
shout
any
out
other
to
colors.
Cowboy.
Yeah, shout out to Cowboy. But hey, the rest of
Hey,
y'all,
man,
hit the link.
believe it or not, believe it or not, I was kind of curved from those colors too, because I didn't realize that I was buying that much red and black.
So you had someone put you in check too.
Yeah, man. But it was good advice. It was good to get curved away from it, because sometimes, man, they say the fan is short for fanatic, and just like Cowboy, even in his name, Fandemic, he's more potent than the fanatic. He like COVID out there on that thing.
God.
Shut the whole thing down. Yeah, that's tough there, boy. Pandemic. Then you got the Falcoholic. That's, hey man, they letting you know in their names, man, how deep they go with it. Those little things I
Oh
pick up
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Dirty bird fly through.
Hey, the dirty bird in the
So
name. But hey,
yeah.
we don't just fly through shit. Now that is one thing. We don't just fly through shit. You know, sometimes, man. We gotta take 5 or 6 hours, man. 7 hours. We'll do it.
Oh, don't bring that up now. You know, we would we'll be accused of wasting our life
Hey,
with them 7 hours,
we
bro.
gonna start. The people in the back, they gonna start crying. Ah, here he is.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't
What's
want that.
happening?
We don't want them little people in the back to start crying. What's going on,
Oh, he'll be all
cowboy?
right, man. Oh, he on mute right now. Look, he just letting us know that
He just let.
he got
Hey,
to do his
he gotta
work.
chime in. Yeah, he gotta chime in. He gonna uh he gonna chime in.
But look now, if he come in now, you're gonna have to get that game from him for them Falcons now. So what's your main which way we gonna go with this so we can utilize his time very wisely?
Hey, we talk. I was talking about how we got all these track stars on this team.
Hey, look, I heard somebody mention, I can't remember. They was talking about we needed a quarterback with quick releases. And that what we got on the roster right now, those guys move, they don't have real quick releases. But here's my rebuttal to that. Three Dirty told y'all what we got in the quarterback room. We need precision route runners. So having a quick release is not, in my opinion, is not that important at that point because of anticipated routes. So they don't need necessarily need to be twitchy because they're going to anticipate the routes. So the throw is not going to be quick to the receiver. It's going to be strategically placed at the point of where the receiver is supposed to go on his route. Even though I played ball back in the 70s and early 80s, that's how me and my quarterbacks maneuver. Don't throw where I am, throw where I'm going, and I'll meet you there. So that I hope that don't nobody get over um, zealous about the slow throws because it's not about they don't have to zip the ball there because they're not throwing it to the receiver in the route. They're going to be throwing the ball to where that route is supposed to end. If you understand what I'm saying.
I was here. Y'all had put my settings in. Y'all got it.
There,
There you
there we
go.
go.
Yeah,
All
There we
right.
go.
yeah. Excuse the noise in the background. I'm outside today, so
Oh,
Okay.
well, okay.
yeah,
She got
But
you
what do
doing
you
some
think about
yard
that?
work.
yeah. I got a little business going on, so uh, yeah. Got to keep myself keep the hustle going and keep myself busy, like granddaddy used to do
Oh yeah, yeah. They stay
it.
moving around, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That,
sir.
yeah. That's why they ain't really mess with that arthritis too much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. He really didn't start feeling his old age until he had to stop working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you got for us, cowboy, on
Hey
the
man,
subject?
y'all
Mm,
You
about
breaking up?
yeah, you breaking up.
hold on, let's get back where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, can y'all hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you
Yeah.
now.
All right, yeah,
Good
yeah.
Mike.
I had to get back where I was. Yeah, what subject we on now?
Well, I was talking about with all of the speed. Well, Chandler brought up about the speed of the team. We got track stars out there on offense and defense, but I was talking about the speed that we have on, running backs, and our catchers, even including our tight end that's fast. And I was saying that a lot of people were not real thrilled about us having quarterbacks that don't have that real quick release. And I was saying that remember I commented about that we needed precision route runners with the quarterbacks that we had in the quarterback room because of the anticipated routes.
Right,
So
right,
so you
right.
don't need to zip the ball in there. If you know if only you and the receiver knows where they're going to go, and that's where you're going to throw
Mm-hmm.
the ball. We don't
Right.
need a twitchy. We don't need a twitchy arm quarterback. Now that's just my opinion. What say
Right.
you?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We got to get back to. I know times have changed with this new football. They come up with new rules and everything, but got to get back to the chemistry of the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of players got different skills that they can bring to a team. Speed being that one, and that seems to be the way that where we going right now, which is a great, great, great vision. Uh, but I think with Tua and Penix, I don't think neither one of these guys. I don't think Stefanski is bought in on these guys. Yeah, they're playing the role of optimism, just so they can, you know, keep the solidarity. But I don't think they're bought in on these guys. I think there's a bigger vision down the road, which I'm gonna share tonight on my show if I get to be able to get on. But I think there's a bigger vision, solely because neither one of these guys are Stefanski's pick. Neither one of these guys is Matt Ryan pick, Ian Cunningham's pick. So And you see what he has done with the rest of this team, right? Nobody in the world thought Ruka Rojo would not be here, right? No one thought
I
that
know
D
I
Alford
did.
would not be here because these guys that were actually, you know, both of them were had skill that they brought to the defense and helped the defense from what we did last season. So looking at last season, a lot of these players were predicted to be here. And this is like I was telling everybody once Terry Fontenot got gone, this team is going to look totally different. Because I've never seen a general manager come in, no matter what went on with the previous season, no matter what went on, a general manager comes in and stayed with the players that was from that previous regime. No general manager has done that. And it's like I was telling everybody, this team is going to look totally different on both offense and defense. Now, the vision that we got going forward is being fast. I have shared with people that this thing could look a lot like Grits Blitz. Uh, as you guys remember, the Grits Blitz was super fast. They were super fast and they were quick to get to the ball. The only thing that set them apart, well, no, the one thing they really share is that a bunch of no-name players, and that's what we have. We have a bunch of players that's just being thrown together right now, and that's exactly what Jared Glanville did with that Grits Blitz.
Well, I mean,
He put a
hey,
bunch of guys.
how many people knew about Divine Diablo before last year?
Nobody, nobody.
Exactly. How many people know about shit? How many people know about Lakel London right now?
What? Well, we knew about Lakel London's asset. The thing about Lakel is he took plays off, and you had to scheme around that.
No, no,
You
no.
know,
But I'm just saying, how many people really know who Lakel London is?
not really focus on him.
They
No,
they they
nobody.
they're not focused on him, but he's still part of this thing. So I'm just I'm
Right,
just
right,
I'm just
right.
using some of those examples. How many people
Yeah, yeah.
really knew last year in the draft knew who Billy Bowman was?
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. And see, that's where Divine Diablo, why he was so important too. Nobody really they knew of him, but they didn't really like know of him. Nobody went into the film room and said, "Okay, we got to watch what Divine Diablo does on this field." Now they have to account for Divine Diablo, but now it's too late because now what? We got Billy Bowman behind his back. We got Jalen Walker at his side. We're gonna have Ozolari. We're gonna have him there playing in front
JPJ's
of him.
coming back.
We're gonna have JPJ playing with him. So now the defense is super fast, and everybody are sure tacklers, just like Divine Diablo. Now it's going to become who's going to get to the ball first. And that's what I'm going to be looking for.
Hey,
Who's going to be able?
JPJ, what man? Matter of fact, I need to look this up. JPJ, uh, he's fast too, ain't he? Cause shit, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
check
yeah,
check check this out. This dude runs a
yeah.
4.47. No wonder it took 8 motherfuckers to get him down on the ground.
And look, and I'm going to address this right now. I'm going to address it right now. I'm not flipping the subject or nothing, but uh, for all these DMs and messages that I've gotten on the JPJ situation, everybody knows how I feel about it. But here's the thing. My stance on JPJ, and I said it even on your podcast, I'm glad the young man is going to get some help. He needs to go get some help. But my vision my stance on the situation does not change. I'm
And
still
it
that
shouldn't.
father. You know what I mean? I'm standing on that. We can't keep, and even if he wasn't a football player, would it matter if he was a football player or not? Would you still feel the same? But my stance on the whole thing is still the same. So it's not going to change. I'm glad he's able to get out of this. I hope he learns from it. I hope he gets the help. But my stance on it, I'm still the same. I'm still a father. I'm still a grandfather. I'm still an uncle. It's not going to change. But going back to uh, our defense and how fast that they could be, this could be arguably the. I mean, we showed out last year with the 57 sacks. We showed out. I think this defense is not going to be about the sacks this year. It's going to be about the INT, those interceptions, those turnovers, getting the ball out, and that's where Avieon Terrell, his brother, Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts, Kobe Bryant. and all these smaller ball hawks, this is where they're going to come in, come into play. Because if we get that pressure like we did last season, right, get these quarterbacks to making throws and decisions that's not becoming of them, we can get those ints. And I think that hopefully that's what the vision and what the focus is going to be. And Ulbrich, I think he has that. I think he just really had to figure out that defense last season. It just so happened that these guys up front, oh, they really got after that ball last season, and we created turnover and got those sacks in. So hopefully this the D backs, the cornerbacks and safety this year will be able to feed off of that and get the turnovers.
Yeah. I look. See, man, this is what I'm talking about. The defense. Not a lot of people, even realize this. This
Mm-hmm.
defense. See, it's going. The sacks are still going to be a big part of it. But this
Oh
year,
yeah,
this defense could actually be dominating. And this defense will win. Is going to be what wins this team games. That's just going to be how
right,
it is. This defense is going to win team game. Is going to win this team some
right.
football games. The Falcons are going to make the playoffs. Look, we got the guys on offense. We got the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with speed and all that. It's going to be about the
Right,
defense.
right. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
And
The
shit.
only
And
thing that
shit.
I'm looking for them
Look at
now
how we
going forward.
drafted. Look at how we've drafted.
Yeah, yeah, and free agency, and we still haven't went through the second wave of free agency. We still haven't touched that yet. So Ian is not done. He still has a long way to go. I'm
How
looking
many
for them to.
quarterbacks we got on staff right now?
We got
Four.
four, four.
Okay.
We got four, and before it's all done and over with, like I said, it's gonna become five.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna become five. I got a vision on that. I'm thinking that's gonna be what it's gonna be. Uh, but I think it's gonna become five. I
You
think it's
made a
one
good
more he got to
point
bring
though.
in.
You did make a good point that to keep reminding us that even though Penix is there, that wasn't Stefanski's them pick.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
even though those guys are highly touted or whatever, highly regarded,
Right.
still it wasn't their pick. So that
Yeah.
they gave us a taste of how they will deal with people that are not their choice
Right.
or their
Exactly.
pick. So
Right.
so yeah, let's just get ready for that. And if you got your favorite players or whatever,
Right.
you better get some therapy before this thing is over with. Better get some therapy now.
Yeah. And I was in the discussion with a group on Reddit, and he was talking about how Matt Ryan was talking Michael Penix. And I'm like, dude, I think let's be for real now. Nobody's gonna get up on national TV and say, hell no, Michael Penix ain't our guy. No, because at some point they're gonna, if they choose to move on from Michael Penix, they still want to get something for him. So they're not gonna get out there and say, well, Michael Penix can't do this, he can't do that. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna say, well, his injuries is keeping him from doing this. They're gonna still up talk him just in case that's the decision is to move on from him. Because let's be truthful about it. The man got skills. We know that. We've seen it. I actually vouch for him. But at the same time, you got a 17 game season ahead of you, a 18 game season ahead of you, a 20 game season ahead of you. Are you going to be able to sustain that with the injury that you've been through for 5, 6 years or whatever, however long you plan on being
Hey,
here?
y'all better get ready. Zay says he's about to jump in.
Bring them in, bring them on in. But yeah, I mean, you got to be realistic about it, man. The man, nobody's taking away from his skill set. He has all the skills you want and a quarterback, here in Atlanta. You want that. He has that mobility. He got the arm strength. He got the vision. He has the quick processing. But the man has been through some serious injuries. There's not, I mean, I don't know a quarterback that has had this many injuries to such a vital part of their body and stayed in the league. none less being a starting quarterback. I mean, let's be real about it. The man has had some serious injuries and injuries to parts that he needs, his legs, his shoulder, and not just in his throwing shoulder at that. So I'm like, come on, you got to be realistic about it. Is he going to be able to sustain a 5, 6, 7, 8 year career? You know, coming from up on the center, playing in the pistol, going back on the center. Is he going to be able to sustain that? It's his now in his heart, and he may have the mindset. He may feel like he can do it, but physically, will he be able to do it? That's going to be the point.
And we
I
know the
hope he
answer to
does.
that.
I hope he does because, like I said, he got all the attributes you want and a skilled quarterback. But you got to be realistic about it. Is he going to be able to sustain that?
Yeah, that's a true statement. My meniscus reminds me of that from time to time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I but at one time torn both of my meniscus and both of my legs at
Oh
one time.
goodness.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. And one week, playing basketball, I go out there and I tear one, and I get the brace on my leg and thought I could still go out there and play. Turn around and tore the other one, being hard headed. You know, but yeah, man. I mean, and that's it. That's meniscus. We're not talking
Zay!
about Achilles or we're not talking about Achilles and torn tendons and all that type of stuff.
Oh, that's that deluxe package right there.
Yeah. What's
Shoot.
happening, Zay?
What's good,
Zay,
fellas? What's good? My
B
dog.
Mose.
You know
Chilling,
that,
chilling,
man.
chilling.
What's happening? Y'all good?
Hey,
Yes,
man, you
sir.
know how we do.
We're just here chopping it
Hell
up on a
yeah.
Friday midday. Hey, look,
Yeah.
you see,
You
man,
know it.
you got me up here. You know who I am, and you see the cash app. You got Three Dirty up in here. You got Fandemic up in here. You got Zay up in
Chilling,
here.
chilling.
Hit the
Yes,
link,
sir.
subscribe, comment, share out, and hit up the cash app. $ Dirty Bird Fly Through.
Yeah.
Hey, if y'all got a cash app or a Venmo or something, I'll put it up on the screen.
I bet I send it
Yeah.
to you for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. I want to kind of piggyback off what Cowboy was basically saying about Mike. Like I like Mike as a quarterback. I really do. I believe in him. Like he said,
Right.
like he can process. He's not really that bad of a decision maker in my opinion. I feel like the only game that I felt like he just really looked out of tact was really in that Carolina game where you just seen him
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of bonehead, interceptions, try to
Yeah.
check it down to B John and Mike Jack
Yeah.
pick it off and all that. But
Yeah.
them injuries, like, cause I remember I was just watching cause I was on the other show, me and Winston, we was just watching Terry Fontenot interview on the podcast that Matt Ryan was on, and
Mm-hmm.
basically he was just sitting there talking about like, if we wasn't able to trade up in that top three where Caleb, Drake, and Jaden was picked at,
Right.
then they would had to try because at first he basically said he was just going to take Kirk Cousins, and then but then once they started doing a lot of more research on Penix, but they had to really get the what's the like his injury report from Indiana and everything. Like they had to really look at that. And
Mm-hmm.
I always, even though people keep saying like, yeah, they was just trying to have him sit behind Kirk and develop him, but I really could tell that they was really just not trying to take a risk and getting him hurt because they ain't even really try to play him in the preseason like that.
Right.
Like
Right.
it was just weird because they was just trying to see if Taylor Heineke was a quarterback three for us. Like they was trying to work out Taylor Heineke and see if he was going to be our third quarterback. But
Mm-hmm.
so it was just them injuries, like you said, his throwing shoulder. That was another injury like that I kind of looked at too. I'm like, damn, that nigga hurt his
Yeah.
throwing shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's just like you definitely got to take that in account. And then he 25 going on 26. You get what I'm saying? Like he could
Yeah.
anybody could feel like they could get that shit done. Like, man, them injuries ain't shit, but it's just like
Right. Right.
you
Right. Yeah. Which that can
Yeah.
happen to anybody, but the upside is he is still
Right.
young, but he's he's on the latter side of being young too. Or so
Hmm.
should I say he's at that midway point. But once you
Right.
cross that 26-year-old threshold, everybody thinking like, okay, he's about to hit his peak, that type of thing. And which
Yep.
happens, but like I just said, man, your body starts telling you, it's not like us being out here in the street, right? We get an
Hmm.
injury, we recover from it. We got days, we got weeks, we got months to recover from it. It's not the same thing, and we don't do the same strenuous activity every day, so we got time to
Yeah.
recover. But when you start doing stuff like and modern medicine is different now, so you have to count that into consideration too. But the
Hmm.
what he has to endure, like play day in, day out, practice after practice, that type of thing. Organizations might like say, hey, all right, is he worth, you know, being out 2 years? Is he worth being out off and on for a year and a half, 3 years, 4 years? Can we
Yeah.
just move on from him and do something different, and hope for the best? And I'm thinking, and this is just my opinion on it. I'll probably get grilled on it, but you know, I want that. I want people to come in and say, "Hey, Cowboy, you ain't making no sense." But at the same time, I'm
Hmm.
just thinking that Matt Ryan and Ian Cunningham, they playing the safe route. They saying the good things about him just so they can say, okay, if anybody interested in him, the phone's open. It's like what they saying about Kyle Pitts. If people call,
Hmm.
we gonna listen. And I'm thinking that's what it's gonna be for just about any player on this team. If all the ones that they did not bring in here, like the Jesse Bates, uh, and people may say, okay, even AJ Terrell, if that phone rings and somebody say, hey, I'm willing to offer this. I got 2 or 3 first round picks. Are they gonna be able to say, nah, we ain't gonna move on from AJ? Are we comfortable in them saying that? I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
at least I don't think so. It's just like I said, just my opinion. But at the same time,
Hmm.
these are guys that have not was not brought in by this present regime, and the way Ian is moving, he more than comfortable moving on from guys he didn't bring in here. He more than comfortable, especially if he get a phone call expressing interest. So that's just my thought on that.
Nah, but I get what you said because it's just like anybody. Because me, I be hearing like folks out when they speak on like the team, like you get what I'm saying. Because anything is possible. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying. So it's just
Right,
like, because even like what you just said about Penix, right? Like it just don't like it's either you gotta play him because I get the plan sitting them, but how much time can you really
right,
wait to really?
right,
Because you can't have him sit what probably like the first half of his rookie season down there. Played last 3 games of his rookie season. Then he played
right,
12 games in his sophomore season. And then Lord knows how this going to work out. You get what I'm saying? This year,
right,
how many games he might play if he win the job. It's just like it's not consistent enough. Cause you missing games. You not like that's why like the development is just a little. His
right.
situation is a lot weird than everybody else in his draft class. Cause it's just like
Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor. I'm gonna have to jump off this thing about to die on me. I got to plug it up. Uh,
okay,
but I see if I can get back on here in a minute. Y'all give me a second.
I bet.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Take your time.
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just like it's just been a little off. Just watching how his whole like these last 2 years, 2, 3 years been for him. Cause it's just like the Kirk Cousins and shit and all the situation that happened, but it's just like you can't play the waiting game, bro. Like especially if you trying to win this year, cause it ain't like on the blank, you don't hire no sportsology group, clean house, do all this shit during the off season, and still hiring assistant
And I
GMs,
mean,
bringing
shoot,
in.
the rumor is that Sportsology is still in the building. They still got
Yeah,
people in
and
the
I
building.
believe it. So that's why I'm like people keep saying like this year could be like a tank type of year, or and then I'm saying like mock drafts for next year they having us at what a top 10 pick next year, and I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just like
Look, right now, if the Falcons are picking top 10, that, I don't know how y'all are
yeah,
going to take it. I don't think that means the worst thing in the world. Because we're getting, then we're
yeah,
finally selling our quarterback shit.
Cause it's like because it's just like I like it's just no way you make all these not even just a free agency move because it's just like man they 1 year deals and it's just guys you trying to see if they can prove themselves and help themselves in the future whether it's with the Falcons or trying to get another like a longer contract somewhere else. Like you get what I'm saying? Like a guy like Aziz, like to prove himself and maybe he'll come back or maybe he'll go somewhere else and somebody might pay him. But it's just you make a whole change in front office, bringing all these guys from coming from the Eagles, got Eagles background, Ravens background. I don't think these guys trying to come here to lose. But don't get me wrong, the quarterback that's my only thing with this whole shit. Like I like everything they doing. It's just that quarterback position just got me like wondering like what the hell gonna happen. Like because you need that quarterback.
I don't know if I asked y'all this or Zay. What is
Hmm.
your ceiling for this team, and what's your floor for this team?
My ceiling, like record wise,
I mean, yeah, we can
or
go with
just
right.
like
We can go with record, or we can go with just where how far you think we can go.
at least like right now, like no hell no, not a Super Bowl, but like wild card, at least wild card, try to win the division. I mean like 11, 10, 11 games at the max. You get what I'm saying? Host a wild card game. The floor, probably another 8 and 9, 7 and 10 type of season. If the QB situation ain't, it's still not intact.
I'll tell you right now. I think this team's ceiling is 11 wins. And that means if every single thing goes right for this team, they could win
Hmm.
11 games. We're facing some tough teams. Like but if Penix or Tua is able to come in, and but I'm gonna also be honest with y'all at the same time. For that to happen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think for the Falcons to have that dream season we're hoping for in 2026, there's only one quarterback can be starting all year. There's gonna have to be a quarterback that starts all 17 games and looks good doing it. If the Falcons are going back and forth between quarterbacks, the Falcons ain't making no playoffs. They're not competing in no NFC South. They're probably honestly, man. You might be looking at a 5 or 6 win team, but at the end of the day, if that's because of the quarterback position that lands you in the top 10, okay, guess what? That quarterback class is loaded next year. You go and you get your guy. Whether the
Yeah.
hey whether that's whether you're somehow able to get Arch, whether that's Dante Moore or whoever the fuck else there is.
Hmm. It's just like, and that's my only thing. Like, why they might have brought in Kevin just off the strength because, like, because I think Matt Ryan kind of know, like, we don't know, like, if Penix or Tua can be able to really be the guys to really put this team on their back. But seeing what he did, even though like I don't want to keep talking about the 2023 season, but just seeing what he did that year, even though that I feel like that's probably why they really building up the defense. Because when you look at that 2023 season with Stefanski with the Browns, it really weren't the quarterback play that was really the shit that stood
Oh
out.
no,
It was really
that defense
it was
won them
that
fucking games.
yeah. So it was
And
that
and
defense. That's why like
And
before he
that year
even
too,
had the
man, that
yeah,
defense, hey, like I'm talking, you
yeah,
didn't, you, yeah, you had some games that were low scoring, but I'm talking like, yeah, there were some high scoring games, but like the
yeah,
defense, they would get pick sixes, they would do scooping
right.
scores,
Exactly.
they were making the big stops at the end of games.
And that's why like before the draft even happened, like I'm like, bro, we gotta like emphasize, just keep building on the defense. Because if you don't know what this quarterback situation gonna be, especially even when you watch the Texans, like my brother a Texans fan, that defense, oh, I mean, all CJ Stroud had to do was just not fuck it up. You get what I'm saying? But because that defense definitely could have took them probably to an AFC championship. You get what I'm saying? Like you seen even last year who like how the Super Bowl was won. It was won through the defense. Seattle Seahawks. You seen defenses putting up points and shit. So it's just like that's another thing this year. Like if this team can be able to, because you don't know how the quarterback situation will be. If this defense can be able to put points on the board as well, because that can help us even more. Because you got Jesse Bates that can return a pick six, but if you can strip the quarterback, sack him, scoop up the fumble in the end zone, put up seven like that, I wouldn't be mad at that. You get what I'm saying? It's just I don't you don't want to be too reliant on the quarterback situation. Like you gotta really kind of like rely on this defense a little bit more.
I want to ask, where's OG at?
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah,
Oh
he
shit.
probably muted. He probably, yeah, I think he
Yeah.
trying to get on the road or something.
Yeah, he
But
doing his thing. He doing
Yeah,
his
I'm
thing.
here. I'm here.
hey, look, I want to ask y'all something. Okay, since the schedule coming down, who y'all think we face in week one?
Shit.
Carolina.
Mm. I
No,
gotta.
no, 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 no. Cleveland.
I was just ready to say that. I was just about to
All
say
right,
that.
so we all agree we're facing Cleveland week one.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, look. Let me ask you a question. Back to the last. I'm ask a question before I answer the question.
Hmm.
Okay. How many games do you think that we lost to coaching alone last season?
Coaching.
Either one of y'all. Yeah.
Coaching
Where
alone
you feel
last
like the
year.
coaching could have did better. Yeah.
Shit. Hey, that's so damn. Well, hey, we can go ahead and let's see.
We can go game by game. I ain't gonna lie. We can go
Yeah,
game
we
by
got it.
game.
We gonna have to go game by game on that thing.
First game, right? Tampa. The first
Tampa,
game.
Tampa. I don't think the coaches lost us that game. I just think that was. I think that they just came out slightly ahead. That's fine. Carolina, man, you gotta. That's on everyone. But yeah, we'll get that to the coaches.
See now before you go ahead, right? I think he
Uh huh.
broke up that Tampa game, right? The only thing we really break down that game. I'm looking at the game. I'm like, all right, Penny's first game started. He throwing the ball 40 times. He throwing the ball 40 times. And then I always talk about that one play where it was a 3rd and 1 and Zach Robinson called. I forgot what the score was, but we was up like one possession. But if we would have got down the field and put more points up on the board, we'd have been up 2 possessions because that game wasn't really like points on the board a lot. And then you throw a go route to Drake London instead of running the ball. That game was kind of on coach, and then you had the Cool situation because you brought in Cool for that game, and Cool missed the field goal. So I'm a kind of put that on coaching, but then when I watch the Colts game, I'm gonna go a little ahead because I always talk about the Colts game because you had what 3 straight, you up 24-16, I think, and then your defense gave you 3 opportunities, 3 straight 3-and-outs, and your offense didn't really capitalize off of that. So that's more like, in my opinion, that's really like an execution thing. So that Colts game, I'm gonna say that's more like players, because
They
Mooney
didn't.
dropping
They
balls
should
and
have been
shit.
running the ball in that game late.
Yeah,
They should have been
you
running the
get what
ball.
I'm
That's on
saying.
coaching.
That game was a little. That was a little. Nah. That was like execution. I ain't gonna lie. That game was kind of execution in my opinion when I watched it. But to name how
Okay.
many games?
Here's the
Go ahead. Go
easier
ahead.
question: was there a
Go ahead.
game the Falcons lost last season that wasn't on coaching? We just wasted all that time. Was there a game that we lost last season that wasn't on coaching? Think about it.
Hold up. Let me do
Just
this.
hey, their players, their players. You know, we went out. We played. You know, we played the best we could play. Their players were just better. Was there a game like that at one point last year?
You said it wasn't on coaching.
Yeah, a game that we lost that wasn't on coaching. Cause see,
I'm gonna
I'm
say,
really about to make you think.
see, I really want to say Seattle.
Shit. Hey, they were. I guess you could say Seattle because they were just checked the fuck out by that point.
Because, bro, at the Bijan fumble that ball, that shit was at the Bijan fumble and shit. He took back that kickoff return.
Man,
It
yeah. Hey,
kind of like,
I'll give you the Seattle game because look, check this out.
mhm.
Man, they were already checked out on that fool by that point.
Yeah, because that game, the Panthers game, I that second Panthers game when only used that when Pennis got hurt. But that Patriots game, I don't want to say that Patriots game because Patriots game, you might that was more because he should have made that field goal. He'd have made that field goal. That was more like on the player. That was. It's just so hard to play the blame game
You
in
know what?
football because
Maybe
there's so much shit going on.
maybe I can go with that New England game because I think all things considered, we played all right. That yeah, I mean, we played better than I thought we were going to play. We just,
Right.
but
In
I
that
mean,
second half, hell yeah.
we still fucked up in that game. Let's be clear, we still fucked up in that game, you know. But I can maybe go with
Yeah.
that New England game, you know, and see. But I mean, hey, that San Francisco game that was entirely on coaching. Uh, Miami and Carolina, both times coaches didn't have them prepared. The Colts game, that was a little bit on the players, but you should have been running the damn ball in that game. The Jets game, hey, you lose the Jets, someone's head's got to get chopped off for that shit, and it did. So the better question would be, were there any games last year that you can entirely say wasn't on coaching? We got maybe two.
So then the ceiling can be 10.
Yeah, 10 wins.
But
Hell yeah. Yeah, the ceiling can be 10.
Oh yeah,
Cause
ceiling could be yeah.
because that's
so,
not a crazy expectation. Because when you look at them games, it's like 2 or 3 games like that could have been won if you like we just said that Jets game, Patriots game, Colts game. That's already like 3 games. Cause like I said, bro, that been the issue probably for like the last 5 years, even since Terry Fontenot been in. Cause it's just close games, close games. Like I just don't think we a trash team. We just can't finish. We can't finish, and then it's just shit that's going on in the game. Cause I was having an argument with my brother the other day, breaking this type of shit down. Cause I'm like, bro, you keep trying to blame quarterback play, but it's just like you not even looking at every little detail that goes on in the game that could make you lose the game in the end if you don't make certain plays or if you don't convert first downs. Like I don't know. I look at football a little bit more deeper because I'm really watching the Falcons. I'm like, bro, it's not the talent. It's just they need to learn how to just finish and just stop losing these close games. Like you in the game, finish that shit. The defense, if your defense giving you opportunity at the opportunity at the opportunity, you gotta get down the field, score. If you at least come out the end of that drive with points, not punting the ball. You get what I'm saying? Put up 3 points, put up 7. Like not you can't you're not gonna be perfect, but if your defense getting off the field, you gotta get them. You gotta keep them off the field. That's the only thing with the Falcons. I know I went on a rant, but that shit just
yeah.
that's just what it is.
But shout out to Drew Talk, man. Drew Talk always says one thing
Mm-hmm.
about games. It's three possible plays or whatever in a
Mm-hmm.
game that changes the game for you. So
Hey, checking
I
into the
kind of hang
chat,
on to
checking
that.
into the chat. What's
Yeah.
going on, Big Low? In the chat. Hey, you still
Yes,
there? Hit
sir.
the link.
What in the world, Bo? What's going on? I ain't even see him right there. I see the chat.
Who that Big
Okay.
Low?
Big Low in the
Yeah, I see
chat.
Big Low and
Man, look, man,
my guy.
you got loyalty in loyalty royalty in the in your chat right now, boy.
Mhm. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all coming out, man. But it's just you get what I'm saying. 3:30. I know I went on a rant, but am I really wrong for feeling that way? Like just the the small little details with this team that I just feel like they could, like they just gotta improve on that. Like that's just something they gotta improve on.
Yeah, that's true, man. But I'm gonna say 10, man.
Mm,
With the losses, I'm gonna say we got a better competent set of coaches.
for sure.
Collectively, you know, along with a more solid um quarterback room. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
so
for sure. Cause I like cause I always talk about the coaching staff. Like I like the staff. Like it's just it's more experience. Like I always just bring up Van Pelt and all them guys, but you can win. This roster can win 10 games, even despite how the QB situation look. But if you can really build an identity with this defense and really have them really take another leap next year, this defense can really put on and take us there. If that's the situation, I'm cool with that. I just want to win football games. Like if it ain't on the all on the quarterback, and if it's our defense really winning us these games, I'm fine with that. I'm definitely fine with that. You
You better tell them. You still hear me?
hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
what do you think about that, OG?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, hey, he got
it's
saved, huh?
no, it's I mean, it's kind of, at this point right here, man. It's speculation, but when you're
Right,
trying to look at improvement, you have to look at where you failed at,
for sure.
and that's what I'm doing, right now. So it's a fair analysis to say, well, you know what, if we had a made, if the coaches had a made some different decisions, or if they had a pull Kurt early one season or one game, and
Hmm.
then the next season, if they had did the same with Penix, we might have would have made a play. We would have did better than 8 and 9.
For
So that's
sure.
what I'm basing. That's what I'm basing right now. But I'm gonna be very interested in um the camps and preseason.
Yep.
So yeah, I will be coming to Georgia. You
Y'all
know,
crazy.
if you know, you know.
Hey,
But
hey,
I'm
hey,
coming,
hey, hey, that hey. You mean you gonna cross that state line?
and that's what coming to Georgia means. I will be coming to Georgia. So
Yes,
you know
Lord.
what I'm saying. So
Hmm.
so, but that's what I'm gonna be looking at.
Hey,
Um,
we got people on
just
here trying to
everything.
create an imaginary line. You can't come past this line.
That's okay, man. I mean, everybody got a right to have their own boundaries.
Hmm.
So but we ain't gonna get too far into that. I just thought I would throw that out there. But
For
yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come. I want to go to a practice this year too. It might be a good year for me to go because of the upside of what we got going on.
Yeah. I definitely
So
Well,
want to see what
shoot, we see if they
like
have
with
an open.
Zachariah Branch.
We're gonna see if they have an open practice at the bins like they've had in years past.
But
Hmm.
yeah, because they already didn't have a draft party because of the predicament we was in. But
Hey, I
hopefully,
can't.
man.
I can't wait for that. I'll probably be out there in a little bit this summer, but I can't wait for all this soccer shit to end.
Hey, man, you got to be patient, man, and let the y'all say trust the process, right?
Right. Yeah. Gotta let it play
Trusting
out.
the process means you got to let the process. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Gotta let
trust the
it cook up.
process and let it be the process.
Yeah, because we gave Terry Fontenot a chance when he first came in and tried to see what he was gonna, do with the roster. So shit. Definitely gotta give Ian Cunningham. Cause we in May, man. So it's just like, we just finished the draft, and then you still got a second wave of free agency coming up. So you don't know who might get cut. You get what I'm saying? There might be some folks getting cut. They might cut some cornerbacks. You get what I'm saying? That's definitely what I've been looking at to see what they do with the cornerback room and see who might be like the odd man out. So it's still a lot of moves to be made for real.
Okay, back to the speed thing. But Zay, you haven't said, I haven't heard you say much about it
Hmm.
up to now. Well, how do
Hmm.
you feel about that defensive tackle we picked up in the draft?
From
Or do you?
Washington,
Yeah,
I really ain't. I didn't dig. I ain't do a dive into him yet. But one thing I did hear, like he was like fast for his size. Um,
4'7", 4'6", 4'7", at
yeah,
three
I
hundred
heard.
and- at 306 pounds, man.
Yeah, that's a big dude. I feel like he could be a good rotational piece starting off. Like, do I feel like he can be that guy that can come in and make a big difference? No, not yet. But could you develop him into that? Yeah, because I like Nate Ollie. I kind of got a little trust in Nate Ollie and that attack style and how they could use him. I mean, if you can. I feel like if he had on your Yamada looking decent last year, coming back off of like an off year in 24 and had him looking a little better in 25.
I'm gonna be real with y'all
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. The Falcons better do everything they can to get. Hey, Nate Ollie needs to be this team's next defensive coordinator after Jeff Holbrook leaves.
shit.
Okay.
But he
But
might,
what,
but he might get interviewed next year for that for one of them for a DC somewhere else, depending
Hey,
on if we run it back good next year.
well then you need to know. We need to know what Mr. Blank needs to do. Then you better break open that
Hmm.
checkbook.
Yeah, 'cause that's my only thing about it. I'm like, shit, Ali do this shit again. Somebody going, somebody gonna try get him to
Hey,
be a
they
DC
already
next year.
Cleveland already took our pass game coordinator. Hey, but we can't lose Ollie. We can't lose. Hey,
Yeah. Cause I like Rutenberg a lot. I like Rutenberg. I knew I knew he was going to get that job. Cause
I
he
think
been
he was going. If Olbert got a job, he was probably going to be next in line.
yeah. Because it was just like cause he was in New York. He was in New York with Obert for real, and he was decent there with the I think he had the same role with the pass game coordinator. When they had Sauce Gardner, Reed, and all them over there, and they had a decent cornerback room. So because some guys that you see that them position coaches, if they really do good throughout years being just a position coach, that DC job coming. It's coming down the line. So we got and Nate Ollie, I want to keep him, man. If he can throw that, if he can throw that check at him, because some coaches they cool with just being a position coach. I don't know if he one of them coaches. You would
but
have to
Albert
see.
said he's not interested in doing a head coaching job right now. So
Yeah,
we got one up on the rest of the teams right now, and I hope he's sincere with that.
yeah. Because
And
what we got him
yeah,
three for like 3 years.
yeah,
So hopefully,
but
because especially,
that'll work
oh, good.
good. Yeah. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be good for us. And that's one thing I don't like about. When I'm saying I don't like it, it just keeps
Hmm.
me uncomfortable in the NFL. You
Yeah.
can't really plug something in solid nowadays because other
Right.
teams they're always ready to pounce on your success.
Yeah. That's why I like coaches like what's that defensive coordinator for the Chiefs? That guy Spags. Like he probably get interviews or and all that, or people probably interested, but the Chiefs they like no, we keeping him where he at. You get what I'm saying? Until whenever he feel like he ready, because it's just like you want to keep building that continuity, but like teams
Right.
they just see that and they just get thirsty. They like, nah, we gotta get this guy. He done turned they sack numbers around in one season. They was one of the worst sack teams. We gotta get him. He gotta be our coach. So it's just like you gotta, as a franchise, you gotta stand your ground and just hold your guy, do whatever you need to do to keep him. Because you know if you lose him, you might not find another Jeff. So,
Right. And see, a lot of guys, I think when your team is suspect,
hmm
when your team is suspect, um, the legacy is not gonna. You don't have any legacy to keep anybody there,
right.
so they're gonna chase the bag. And,
hmm
and if it's going to a team that has a better pedigree or winning legacy than the team that they're on, oh, they out of there for the bag.
Oh yeah.
So
That's why I'm like shit. That's why we gotta flip the switch because
right.
if we go on another 8 and 9 type season, like and a job, more money come your way, and an opportunity to really win. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to turn that down. So it's just like you gotta. That's why this year you gotta build some kind of foundation moving forward. Like so, I hope we can get that done. So we don't wind up just because we already had like 3 or 4 different defensive coordinators back and forth, back and forth. You don't want to go back to that.
Nah, I definitely want to do that. But see, the first thing got to do is
hmm
get that pedigree better and
Yeah.
make people make coming to the Falcons a strong uh, resume add on
Yep.
at the same time. And I think that's where Raheem messed up at, right? As far
hmm
as trying to develop his own tree, his
Yeah, for
little
sure.
coaching tree, whatever. I think that he, and nothing against the Falcons. Now y'all know I'm down with the Falcons, but I think he picked the wrong team and the wrong time to, to put
Yep.
his job out there like that.
hmm
Okay,
You know, with
let,
these
let,
with
let,
these rookie
let me ask you. You
coordinators.
talk about Raheem. Where do you think Raheem could have been successful at with his philosophy?
In 2024,
Yeah,
what teams needed a coach? The Bucks. Um, it's I don't know, bro.
he
Bringing
wouldn't.
in Zach Robinson
Hey,
and Jimmy Lake, I don't think that shit would have worked.
he wouldn't have been successful anywhere. Come on.
Now you got to, but wait a minute. The team that he would have went to is like I just said, is going to dictate the
Right.
people that would even take the offer. Remember, Harbaugh never even came to Atlanta. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. He ain't even want because we ain't even had no stability at the quarterback.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
hmm
Harbaugh never even came to Atlanta, and that's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying that Raheem would have been successful, but I bet you he would have had a different options had it been a team with a better pedigree.
Yeah, because yeah, because I'm looking at it like it's just why you bringing both of them? Because I'm still trying to think of like as I'm speaking, I'm trying to think of the other teams that was available, but it was just our situation. It was still at pieces from Arthur Smith, and then he just tried to make it work. It's like he didn't really try to bring in enough to really support everybody else. Like, cause you brought in Ray McLeod, you brought in Donnell Mooney and Justin Simmons, Judon, traded for Judon, but that shit weren't really it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to really help us get over that hump for real. I don't know. It was weird, bro. Cause I really wasn't bought into that. Cause I'm like, who is this Zach Robinson guy? These Rams fans, they kept telling me, man, he helped out Baker Mayfield and helped Baker Mayfield turn his career around. They was just gassing up all that shit. And it was just too much hype around that shit. And I'm like, nah, they still
ATL
young
underscore
coaches.
251 in the chat. What's going on? Hey, we ain't heard from you yet. We want to see you hit the link and we want to hear from you. But
Yes, sir.
hey, Shout out to you in the chat though. He said nothing in Pro Bowl would have been successful. Maybe at a college team. See, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It wasn't gonna work in the NFL. What the fuck he was trying to do?
But I kind of get what 330 saying, like, depending on like what team he would have went to. Like, I don't know. Cause I don't know what he would have did if he would have went to the Seahawks. What would have been his quarterback? Because you had Geno Smith. Would he would have stuck out with Geno? Well, what would have been your plan with Geno Smith? You get what I'm saying? And if you would have came to the Patriots, what have you would have did with Drake May? What would have been your plan for Drake May? You get what I'm saying?
But would he have been able to bring those players with him to those teams?
What
That's what I'm saying.
Donna Mooney and Ray McLeod?
I'm talking about the coaching staff. Who
They
was he gonna
probably
fire on? Who was he gonna get rid of in Seattle?
you couldn't have, who was they coaches that year?
Uh, uh,
I don't think they would have. Nah, they probably wouldn't have let him. They couldn't have. They probably wouldn't have let him because what they brought in. When did they bring? They brought in Kubiak last year.
yeah, they had both. They had I think they. Nah, who was the
They had that offensive coordinator that was
that
with
worked with
Penix. They had
Penix? Yeah,
They had Ryan
Ryan
Grubb
Grubb.
over
Yeah,
there.
I don't know why the fuck I was. Yeah, who was the
See that
defensive?
that, that that's a tough one, 330. That's a tough one. I know it's just speculation talk, but it's just we don't know how that would. I really wouldn't know how that would have went if he went to another team. Like that's that's a good one. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good one.
I ain't trying to talk about no fucking Raheem Morris right now.
Hell
Hey
no.
man, you shouldn't be mad at him no more, man. We just talking about
Yeah.
situation. That's how you get better, man. Talking
Hmm.
about having uncomfortable conversations. That's what you're gonna have to have when dirty up here. Keep
Yeah.
telling you, man. I'm corporate. I got a corporate mindset, and I'm big on management. I'm
Yeah,
real big, and I'm hard on management. The players gonna be the players. The
Hmm.
players get injured. The players get traded. It's business at the end of the day. But the managers, oh, I hold them to a tight rein because they don't get injured. All they gotta do is study, make improvements. They ain't even got to spend no money. They ain't got no money in the game. So that's
yeah, cause
why that's
hey, it's
why I
all
hold them the
blanks
way I
money.
do.
Shit.
Hmm. Yeah. Cause that shit. Cause I'm looking at them. Cause even though I don't want to keep talking about, cause now 330 really got me looking. Like I'm looking at the whole culture cycle
Hey,
right
I
now.
hear you, Big Low. Low says he can't jump on right now, but he's gonna jump on one day.
But hell yeah, bro. Cause what you see Washington, Tennessee, cause they took Dan Quinn later on. Cause like Dan Quinn, cause they ain't even. I think they was the last. I think Washington. They just went with Dan Quinn after they after everybody else got hired. But I don't know. It's a good one. I might look. I'm gonna look into that later. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna look into that later. I know y'all talk about what's going on right now, but I'm gonna still
Yeah,
look into that. I'm gonna look into that.
but right now, man, I was saying that to go back to this, man. We gotta build a franchise that's not only good for the on the field, but we gotta build a room. And I think that with Matt Ryan and Ian up there, I
Hmm.
think that's a good start to make people want to come to Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's going to at least interview. Because you had guys that wouldn't even come to Atlanta. I was like, man, these guys, these guys ain't coming to Atlanta. They even
yeah,
interview for a job because they're like, man, I ain't going down there. And, I ain't worrying about no money right now. I'm worrying
hmm,
about my resume.
yep. Because
So yeah,
and then you seen how it played out. Like what Raheem only had 2 years to try to get that shit done. And then just imagine the next guy. I mean, whoever, even if it wasn't Raheem, and because you had the eighth pick. You ain't really got no quarterback. You wasn't gonna make Desmond Ritter. he wasn't gonna try to develop Ritter and
Oh,
try
they
to give
sure,
him a
they
second
sure,
shot.
they sure is. Oh, well, yeah, you talk about Raheem. I was about to say.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, they sure as hell did try to develop Desmond Ritter once, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the a new like whoever would have came in 24. Like I don't think no Ben Johnson or no Mike Vrabel or one of them guys would have been like, hey, let's see what this guy got. But I mean, you don't know. Like I said, I mean it is speculation, but like that shit could have played out. It'd have been real hard for a coach to come in there and really try to get some success like how they want to. If it's no like stability at that quarterback position and you picking at 8 and all the top quarterbacks went in the top 3. So I don't know. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
you got a valid point there now because see that's where a lot of the disconnect came in with the expectations of the players that were drafted that high. Now Bijan, he's met and exceeded. But the
Yeah.
rest of those picks that we made, come on, man. That that was they started writing on the wall right then, saying,
Yeah.
man, if this don't work, see these guys really don't have no pressure on them, man. You know, they they don't have no pressure. This regime don't have no pressure on the first season. You
Yeah.
know,
It's not it's not
they
like
ain't talking
it's
about
not like
outrunning the
24.
South and
Shit,
all of that.
what I say? This is an evaluation season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this evaluation it is like a ain't no regular evaluation now. This gonna be an audit.
ATL 251. We hear you, man. We hear you. Hey, make your money, but we want to hear from you one day. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, 251. He be jabbing me, boy. I'm ready to hear his
you
voice,
you
but he be
right. Hey,
jabbing all
you
day.
ready to go back and forth with this guy?
Hey
You ready to
man,
go back and forth with
hey
this
man, I want
fool?
to hear some dialogue. He be on other platforms too, be jabbing at me, but it's all good though. It's all good. We gonna meet up one day.
Y'all funny as shit.
We gonna meet up one day, and it's gonna be respectful though. But we gonna stand 10 toes, toe to toe.
Hmm. For
Hey, you
sure.
gonna you gonna take
Yeah.
him? You gonna take him to the school of corporate?
Hey man, he might be corporate. You don't never know, man. Hey, never underestimate an unknown possible opponent.
Yeah.
Never
Ever.
underestimate.
Ever.
Assume nothing. Anticipate everything.
Just like the Falcons.
Exactly.
Just like the damn Falcons. Shit. Lose to the Jets. Spank the Rams. Come
Hey,
on now.
shout out to what's his name? Shout out to Anthony White. He said last year, boy, he said, boy, them Falcons gonna mess around and go up there to New Jersey and them Jets gonna work them. And boy, they drug him like a rag doll.
Man, that shit was crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, that game was crazy. Cause I'm like, cause a couple things I took from that game, I'm like, shit. We done took, we done took their offensive coordinator and we took their kicker from that game.
Right.
That shit was
Oh
crazy.
shit!
Yeah, he called it out, boy. I was like,
Mhm.
dog, I hope he wrong. But he said it all season. And look, and he was a G about it too.
Nah,
He ain't even come in and get loud with
matter of
nobody
fact,
neither.
matter of fact, I think Wolf called it too. I think Wolf called us losing up in New York.
Yep, exactly.
Mm. Cause that game was wicked. Cause what they put up like 27. They put up like 27 points in that game. Tyrod Taylor he was still because I remember that one sack JPJ could have got on him and Tyrod Taylor kind of got off. I'm like, damn, this nigga still moving like it's
But
in the
but
early
see,
2010s.
but see, that's what happens when you get them seasoned veterans in there like that, man. They
Yeah.
know how to maneuver like that.
Hmm.
And
Cause I
and
oh,
then
cause I wanted him as a backup last year. I was hoping we
okay,
would have if we would got him or well not last year. Was it this year? Whatever one of them years for real. I was like, man, bring him in or Teddy Bridgewater or somebody like. Cause I was just big on like if you gonna bring Penix in, man, try to get like I like Kirk Cousins, but when I just be looking at his whole overall, his like I'm like, bro, he be putting up stats, but he ain't winning shit. Like just like put that nigga around somebody that been there. in the league. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's just like even in the quarterback room with Tua. Like, man, this nigga Tua, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not a big fan of Tua.
Two
I
two
think he
two
ass.
251 says it's only because you got facts, OG.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
he tried
Appreciate
to
that,
challenge
man.
you. Yeah, but hell yeah, that's why I'm like, man, you gonna bring in this type of quarterback, man. Put him in a quarterback room with somebody that got some sense for real, got some pedigree on him. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like you ain't really been putting them around nobody like Tua, Kirk Cousins. Like, damn, I don't know, yo. I just can't be like you can learn from them, but it's only so much you can really learn from them because they ain't really been through real deep playoff runs. Like them niggas been coming up short their whole career, bro. Like, like I'm just being real about it. Like, even though Tua is a small little contract, but I'm still big on like quarterback rooms, who you bring in there. You get what I'm saying? Like that shit really mattered to me for real. Like, so however that shit gonna go, it's gonna go how it's gonna go. I'm just hoping this defense really just take that next step for real. Be like a top 10 defense. So
They getting there.
just just guys see.
Shit, hey, what y'all think about those fucking Hawks last night?
Oh my gosh. They came out flat.
Hey, y'all want to talk about a fucking train wreck?
That was nasty. I felt bad for Hawks fans because everybody like that I be talking to that Falcon fans, they they Hawks fans. So I know that shit hurt last night, bro. Like Knicks was just it was just a better team. They came out more prepared for real. They just ain't you can't go out like that on well, it was like a
What
45-9 run or some shit like
Millie
that. I was
Mills
like,
in the chat. Millie Mills, what's going on? Hit the link if you can.
Millie, Millie,
whoa,
Millie, Millie. But
my
you know
dog.
what? I've been saying this right here about the Hawks, right?
Mhm.
Um, I think traditionally we need to go back to our traditional um court, and we need a big man.
I
The Hawks'
agree.
success has always been when we had dominant big men that could
Mhm.
play down in the paint. I think that kind of hurt Trey also. You know his journey with the Hawk. But we need a big man. We need a 7 footer that don't do nothing but get low, box out, and post up.
Yeah. Cause
When,
especially like y'all had cause that's why I was a little iffy about that series. I'm like, man, you got Mitchell Robinson, Carl Anthony Towns, and you had a Kongu and what's that other backup guy? Gay, whatever his last name was. I was like, nah, I don't know if they gonna be. I don't think they that physical enough to keep up with Mitch and all them for real. Getting them and grab boards. It was just, and then it was just that series. I'm like, yo, they relying too much on CJ. I'm like, nah, they need Jalen Johnson to have one of them triple double type of games like what he was doing during the season.
Oh, he
Like,
does.
yeah,
Oh, Jalen Johnson didn't do
Jalen
shit.
Jalen went to sleep on
He
us,
didn't
man.
do. Hey, shit. Jalen done look. Remember that one time when Jimmy Butler got some good action for the NBA Finals that wore them all out. Man,
Yeah,
we need to figure out what type of gal Jalen that got Jalen straight all messed up at Magic City.
that shit was
Cause I'm
nasty.
telling you,
man.
Cause
Look, Jalen Johnson turned into a Calvin Ridley after Julio left.
damn, cause bro, he was
I'm
just
just saying.
he just looked out of it. Cause I'm like, that's the only thing with his game. He really gotta take his game to the next level. Like I
man,
really feel like he
next this dude gonna be taking mental health retreats down to Florida,
Hey,
mm,
man,
staying in the
he might have to.
casino.
He might have to do like your boy, go there to the Himalayas and sit up there with the monks.
y'all crazy.
Become one with the court, one with the basket.
Yeah, cause
Or he could just find himself a good massage parlor to go to.
Nah, then he should not be messed up.
real shit. Cause I'm like, bro, if he get his ball handling together, learn how to attack more. Cause I feel like, cause he during the regular season, you can tell he was just playing loose. He was doing all these flashy ass passes and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like he looked comfortable for real. He ain't look comfortable in that series. They kind of like started playing up on him a little bit and really try to make him force them pass. Cause them passes ain't really look as flashy as they did during the season. Sometimes he was turning that bitch over, or he was just giving the ball away, sitting in the corner. I'm like, nah, you can't. You gotta take this game over. Like CJ, like 33 years old, bro. You can't rely on CJ to take that shit over. Like, cause he got the size. He like 6'10", like he tall as shit. Like he can be able to take advantage of a small defender. Like if I was Jalen Johnson, I'm like, man, give me the switch, put Jalen Brunson on me. I'm walking him down every time. But he ain't want to score like that for real. He should have did that.
Oh shit,
Cause Brunt,
his OG got kicked out. I think.
oh damn,
Yeah, he trying to
he
be a
ready to come.
pro.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was nasty
There we
last
go.
night. He back in the game, but yeah, I want to see what they can do. I don't know what y'all gonna do with Quinn Snyder. Y'all gonna keep him?
Yeah, Quinn, he probably needs some
Shit,
help, but I don't think
there's
they're
some
gonna do
there's some
nothing
people talking
with him.
about they ain't gonna fire him. There's some people talking about his head needs to be chopped off, and I'm like, shit, I'm not gonna argue with y'all.
Mm,
Well, he just picked up, but see, you got to remember now the roster that he took into the playoffs. How many games did he have with him? Did he have 30 games with him or whatever? You know what I'm saying? As far as
yeah,
putting that roster together toward after Trey left.
Yeah, but
When
man,
did Trey leave?
Trey left 1st of February, but man, it's how the fuck they went out last night. That's the
Hey man, that's
problem.
one game, man.
Yeah,
That's one game of many.
hey,
Now you talking about
one
you
game
talking
of
about New
many,
York.
but that was an
Uh-huh.
elimination game though. You got to know what the stakes are.
I mean, what you gonna do with what's a 45-9 run? It ain't like they were missing their shots. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Niggas just you gotta go right back at him in the playoff
Yeah,
game for real. Them niggas was not hitting like, bro. Them niggas was out that bitch missing floaters, like shit in the
right.
paint. It was shit in the paint they was missing. I'm like,
That
oh nah.
and guess what? And when you missing those shots, and they got two what 6'11", 7-footers
Hmm.
snatching rebounds,
Yeah.
you not gonna have a chance.
And then
That's
what?
what
Jalen
basketball is about.
and Brunson, like he wasn't even like phased because Dyson. Usually they had Dyson on him, and Dyson really have an effect on his game because Dyson wouldn't fall for them pump fakes and all that shit. But at the beginning of the game, he was getting going, but it was really OG. Ananobi was going crazy on both ends in that first quarter. He showed up big because he had like 4 steals last night. Like and then Carl Anthony Towns, he wasn't even really doing shit. It was just, bro, they was just getting buckets. They was scoring nonstop. Like whoever had the rock, that shit
Right.
was just going in there. You
Towns
gotta
only had
respond.
Towns only made 4 shots and still had a triple double.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. 'Cause how many times how many free throws he had? Cause he had like cause he was at the free throw a little bit last night for
Yeah,
real.
and he was hitting them. See all that? Those are the
Hmm.
things that kill you, man. It's just that's what you know that type of environment is, man. Sometimes it's not the flashy stuff; it's the little stuff. Because nobody would, for him to have
Hmm.
a triple double, and me tell you that this guy only made 4 baskets. And, you'd be like, "Dog, how many threes did he hit, or whatever?" It doesn't matter. He only
Oh,
hit. That means he was very selective in what he did, and he involved his other teammates for him to
yep.
have a triple double.
Cause he
Shoot,
just
he
he just
enhanced everybody's game.
yeah, cause he like shit. I'm a kick it to the open man. If he open shit, he cutting down. Like, cause it was one pass he gave to Mikael Bridges. Cause Mikael Bridges, he was all right yesterday too. You got well, it was really
Yeah,
the might as well say the whole damn team, cause you putting up 80 points in the damn second half. I mean, in the second quarter, you just clicking.
yeah.
So
And,
that's
and we just happened to run into them when they did that.
yep. Cause that
But
game,
the
that shit
bad,
reminded me of that the Suns versus the Mavericks when Luca and Brunson, they smoked the shit out the Suns that game when they had CP and Booker. It was like in 22 for real, and they was just lighting them up, lighting them up, lighting them up. And they was just not. They weren't. It just when you got it going, you got a groove, and you can't miss. And your other team just not. They ain't responding, and you just keep putting your foot on their throat, keep scoring. It's gonna be you gonna fall. You gonna fall like that. You gonna
it
go
gets
down
dug
40
real.
points.
Yep,
Hmm.
that's just how it go, man. I felt bad for the boys, but you got
Yeah,
in that, but you got to look for a little ray of sunshine. What would what would if it was any? What was the ray of sunshine we could get out of that? Because it was terrible.
yeah.
I'm glad the fans wasn't booing.
Man, the fans were
Yeah,
fucking checked out and gone.
yeah, niggas was out there dipping. Cause at the end of the game, them niggas was just they was just I think when they came out the second half, Jalen Johnson, he was just trying to get a little groove going, try to at least play for a little pride, but that shit was over.
Man, shit. Hey, you see those New York? That made me sick too. That was the worst part of it. Those fucking New York fans after the game in the concourse of State Farm.
Bro, that
So,
shit, I
so
ain't gonna lie,
someone
that
need to
Knicks,
go at him, just punch them all in the fucking face or something. You know, break out some fucking pepper
yeah,
spray on them and get them the
Hey
fuck up
man,
out
that
of
hey
there.
look, that look, bro, that come with the game. If you stink it up that bad, maybe the players need to see that disrespect. Maybe the coaches need to see that type of
Shit, but I'm
disrespect
gonna
so,
tell y'all
so
right
it'll
now.
sting.
That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of everyone coming up in this fucking city, everyone, and disrespecting these teams, especially the Falcons and the Hawks. It don't happen to the Braves like that, you know, except for if you fucking Philly comes in and tell them I'm sick of that shit too. I'm tired of this shit. We need to be able to go
How
into
can you
these.
change it?
Hey, first of all, you need to start winning. Second of all, we need to start mobilizing. We need to get on the fucking road and we need to go to these places and we need to be just as disrespectful there as they are down here.
But
Hey,
don't
hey,
forget now.
Jay, just like Zay. Zay, ain't that right?
I was just about to bring it up like shit. I went to Philly and did my thing down that bitch. That shit was funny as shit, but
Hey, nah,
I
Oh,
nah.
don't know.
you was at the Philly game when Drake caught that touchdown.
Oh yeah,
Man,
that
Oh man,
game.
hey, you
I would
ain't
have
ever.
went ballistic.
Hey,
I,
this dude went viral on social media.
yeah, I went viral. I ain't gonna lie, I went viral for that shit. That's how everybody, like most Falcon fans, really know because I went to that. Cause I keep telling people the reason why I made that video was because them fans that was behind me. Them Eagle fans, they behind me was talking crazy the whole game, talking
They
about
were
Kirk.
working you the whole time, man.
Yeah, and I was barking right back at there. They kept talking about, oh, Kirk Cousins, his wife not going to let him hit tonight. Kirk, you
Dang.
stink. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
They were
hey,
saying a lot.
hey, Zay, on the real though, you're lucky that you
Yeah,
walked out of there on both your feet and not in handcuffs.
shit. I mean, yeah,
Or,
yeah,
or
yeah,
on a stretcher or something, because Philly, hey,
Hey, Zay,
you got to
one
move
of them.
different
Zay.
in Philly.
Yeah,
He don't know nothing about BMO. He don't know.
yeah. That's nigga. That I ain't give a fuck. I ain't give a fuck. I ain't
Hey,
gonna lie.
What's
Chandler.
up? What's
When
up?
when you go north of Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina,
Yeah, come
it
on.
changes. Everything changes,
Mm.
bro.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I ain't trying to be cocky, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm a bold motherfucker sometimes, bro. Like I go down
Hey,
to that
Hey,
stadium and I don't give a fuck. 'Cause a lot of niggas be like, yo, you ain't gonna make it alive out that bitch. That's all niggas were telling me. Like, you gonna go down there? I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. like,
right. That's a whole different ball
but
game,
hey,
man. And it ain't
hey,
that saying that he can't get got, but see, you got to understand when it gets away from the, you know, just being a fan and you there and you see the trouble coming, then you know how to move.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's the whole deal. That's the whole difference.
Cause they like, bro. At the end of the day, them niggas knew what's up. I ain't give a fuck. I'm like, man, y'all can say this, y'all can say that. Once Drake caught that, no, once. Not even when Drake caught that touchdown. When Jalen Hurts threw that pick to Jesse Bates, it was over. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on y'all ass. I
It
ain't
was
gonna
all
lie.
yeah.
Niggas, niggas started leaving. They
Yeah.
started leaving. Some niggas was leaving early. They thought it was over. I'm like, bro, once Saquon dropped that ball, I'm like, y'all sure it's over? Y'all sure it's over? Y'all don't think Kirk might not get down here with no timeouts? He like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. Kirk gonna throw a pick. I'm like, all right, watch he get downfield.
Man, that shit was
Darnell Mooney started
unbelievable.
cooking.
That shit
Hey,
was
hey, that was
unbelievable.
that Uncle Steve was there also, wasn't he?
Yeah, Uncle Steve was there. Jack was there. That's before I knew who any of them was. And then they was like, yo, I seen the video, man. Yo, ass out there going crazy. They say, I like, hell yeah. That shit.
Did you post it on YouTube?
Yeah, I posted on TikTok, but TikTok they took it down, and then it was on my old Twitter page. It was on my Twitter page, but they wound up taking it down. I definitely ain't post that on YouTube. I forgot to post that on YouTube.
Hey,
Chandler, do you have a copy of that?
man, I'm gonna need to try and find it. But if I do, I'll send it to you.
I'm gonna send it.
Zay, send it to me.
All
Yeah,
Where
right.
is that? Yeah, hell yeah, I got
because
you.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see that, man. I
now
want to see the whole thing.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. We got to get
Where
together
is
one of these years, man. We gotta go. We gotta do a little invasion.
Hey,
We
man,
it?
we
Yeah,
plan
we we
ahead. Let's do it.
we gotta go. We gotta do. Hey, we gonna just see. That's why I really need the schedule to come out. I really want to see because hey, I'm telling y'all. I think I said this. There's a
Mhm.
chance. I'm not saying it's not a high chance, but there's a chance that maybe sometime around December I might be able to make it out to a road game. But one of these years we gonna have to all go down to that certain spot. We gonna have to run a little home invasion raid down there. You know what I'm talking about?
With New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Nah, I'm talking about New Orleans.
Yeah, real shit. That and Carolina. I ain't gonna lie. I want to go I
Well,
want to go
shit. Hey, I've
Carolina.
already
Hey,
been to
man.
Carolina when we took over that damn stadium and we lost. That was at that Thursday night game a couple years ago.
Yeah, cause I man, them Carolina fans, they ass need to be humble too. I ain't gonna lie. They got their number on us, but
Yeah, they got our number right now.
Shit, all you gotta do with them though, all you gotta do, you just gotta buy up all their fucking tickets. They ain't gonna be able to show up. Hey, if they ain't no tickets on sale, they ain't showing up.
yeah, cause it was one game where it was raining out there. Them tickets was that game with Ritter through that pick and shit. Man, that game, them tickets was like $9, $12 or
Man,
some shit
I'm
like that,
telling
all
y'all
the way up
straight, and
top.
I was look, I was thinking about going to that game actually. I remember,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I
was
was.
raining. It was raining too, and I said, "Dad, we ain't gonna beat them boys, man." And it was raining hard. I was like, "Man, I'm not gonna be able to make that one." But Winston went
Oh,
Winston went up there.
the eye
Winston
test.
he was one of the 5,000 people that went because
He
they say
drove
that was
down
only
from
like
Richmond.
there was only
Mhm.
5,000 people at that game. They said.
Yeah, cause you could have bought a seat up top. Shit, and went all the way down bottom for real.
Man, what I'm telling
Yep.
y'all for that game right now, I'm telling y'all what they were doing. They were probably you know, they used to say they'd break into your car, bust out your car window, you come back, your window busted out, but they left you two tickets to the game. What they probably do now is they just, it goes to your spam email, but they send you some suspicious link, but in reality, it's two tickets to that game. That's the type of game that was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
game.
got it was cheap, man. But
That
it
shit
was
was
just run.
weird.
I should have put. I started to put that rain suit on I got, and
Hmm.
You would think about going.
yeah, oh yeah, I was kind of ready, man. I was talking to one of my peoples and said, man, let's go on drive on downtown and see what they got.
Yeah,
But
cause the
we backed out.
Panthers they was bad that
Hey,
year. Cause that was
God was saving you. God was saving you.
Oh yeah,
cause
Hey,
they only had like one. They only won like one game
coming up towards that game. Cause what they,
They
I
only
think
had
they
one
just
win, yeah. They only won 2 games the
yeah,
entire year.
and one of them was against us, and they just I think they fired Frank Wright in like the middle of the season or
Yeah.
some shit like that. Like that
Shit, they
boy,
didn't
that
even let him breathe. They didn't even let him get a full breath in there before they took his ass out.
cause that shit was bad. Cause bro, Bryce, I ain't gonna lie, Bryce came into a fucked up situation walking in. I ain't gonna lie. As much as I don't like them
That
niggas, but that situation
that's
was
why he
fucked
got.
up.
That's why he still got a job.
Yeah. Cause they trying
They
to at
know.
least see. They trying to at least see. Cause I'm like, bro, them wide receivers he had, cause he had Marshall, fucking. You can't even really that old line. It was just that old line. That shit was bad, bro. And then on top of that, that shit ain't help his height, cause you know he's short as shit. So if your old line fucked up and you got a low ass quarterback that back there, ain't no way you gonna expect him to do anything. Like that shit was bad. But shit, we gotta get on his ass this year though. I ain't gonna lie. They trying to build something. Them nigga Dan Moore
Co-
be over there
Right. He
doing
coming
some
with
shit over there.
confidence too.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, bro.
Don't don't forget he came from Alabama.
Yeah. And he played for the Panthers too back in the day.
Yep.
I'm like, shit, I ain't sleeping on them. I ain't gonna lie. Much as I hate the Saints and Tampa, but they building something defensively. That's why I'm like, shit. That's why I'm like, shit. You got B John. That's why this offensive shit, man. They gotta be more than B John, cause they trying really build up the team to really stop the run. Especially if Derek Brown, J.C. Horn stay healthy. I can't lie, they gonna be a decent team. They gonna be a decent team. But the Falcons, I still take the Falcons over them niggas, but I be keeping that shit real, bro. I gotta keep that shit real. They building something over there.
I'm just excited for this schedule to come out, man. It's
Hell yeah.
I'm real excited, man, because I have a lot of planning to do myself without getting into a whole lot of details. But it's just it impacts the rest of my year when that schedule drops.
Yeah, cause you look at like the dates and all that, and then be like, all
Have
right,
to, man. And
October, this might be going on. Somebody's birthday, I might can't make it. This game, hell yeah, that's how I be planning too.
yeah, and then I have to make and I try to start maneuvering my clients
Mhm.
according to the schedule too. Um, I have had a party Saturday night on my party bus and
Mhm.
got a couple hours of sleep and had to get on the road because it was a home game.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man.
It be like that. It be like that.
Yo,
Cause it's like
you
shit.
got to make the money, and then I still want to go see them Falcons.
Yeah. That's how much niggas we like this shit.
Yeah,
But it's just like bad shit. Especially you go to the stadium, shit. You have a good time. You get what I'm saying? It ain't like you just going there just to watch. I mean, you there to watch football. We definitely there to watch football. But it's just like shit, just to experience that, just seeing it in real life. Like when I first went to the Benz, that shit was crazy.
I know you would. Hey, look, was the roof open?
The roof was closed. It was closed because that's when we played that was B John first game. And yeah, the
Oh,
roof was
okay. You was
closed.
at that's why you was at the Carolina game.
Yeah, that game
Okay.
that shit was cool. I had like some nice decent seats like towards like the where the players come out at the beginning for
Oh,
real. Yeah, I was right there like by the tunnel for real. I seen B John. He was working out and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's why I really had to see him in person. Cause I'm like, let me see if he really like that. I'm like, I'm gonna go down to Atlanta and see if this boy really like that. And I'm watching him put.
Bijan the real deal, man.
Yeah, I just seen his feet. I'm like, yeah, he cutting. I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah. And that was before the
Hey,
game even started.
my nephew is a coach. He's on the coaching staff at Texas, and
Okay,
yeah, by the name of Torrey Beckton. And
okay,
I asked him when we drafted him, I said, now you ain't got to give me no statement though, but man, is he gonna be
right.
worth that pick? He said, man, y'all got something special down there. coming to Atlanta and say he's gonna improve. He said he's gonna improve every year. He's one of them
Mm,
kind of guys that, as you notice, he kind of adapts to his environment.
yeah,
Yeah, like the first year, 2 years, he was getting caught. If he
yeah,
was breaking away, them guys was catching him. But he said they won't catch me no more now.
yeah.
They will
It was
not catch me.
real
He,
shit. And
hey,
then
he
you
figured
seen
out
like,
he figured out how to use his blockers.
Use them better. Yeah,
Yeah, he figured out actually like how to, make the when exactly to make the cut. That's hey,
yeah,
that's listen. You got to realize there's average. Then there's average and good, and there's steps you got to take to, go from average to good. Then there's even more steps you got to take to go from good to great. And see, Bijan, I really honestly think he already came in here great. That's just the special type of guy he is. Bijan just had one level to go, and that is to go from being great to being the best at what he does. And we saw Bijan take that
is
transition
he
last
elite
year.
now?
He's elite.
Is Bijan elite?
yeah.
He
He
Okay.
elite.
he
Hell
is
yeah,
the elite
hell
of
yeah.
elite. Now,
To
hey,
see what he was doing,
I'm not
like,
even. Hey, we can all agree he's the best running back in the league, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
He's the
yeah,
best
I
running
didn't
hell
back.
think he was
yeah,
gonna be able to overtake Saquon, but he did.
Oh, he
yeah. I
definitely
didn't
overtook
either,
Saquon. Yeah.
cause it's
At
just
this
like,
point,
bro,
man,
seeing
name. At this point, it's really name me that many players that are better than Bijan right now. Period.
A lot of folks can't really, they can't do, even though he might not got the winning behind him, but you can't take that talent away from him. Even like y'all said, bro, he get better every year. Just even watching him in the pass game a little bit more last year, really actually running routes, getting open. Shit, even like that Patriots game, this nigga catching one hand catches, and you get what I'm saying? He jumping up in the air, catching two hand. I'm like, bro, he a different. Cause in college, what
Yeah,
he ran like what six, almost like 6 yards, 5, 6 yards a carry in college.
yeah.
So
Cause
I'm
you go,
like,
the first man is gonna miss.
exactly. Cause it's just hard to really. It's rare. I mean, it's been times he got stopped backfield, but it's rare, bro. It's hard to just because you don't know where he gonna go. He could cut left, cut right, or he might see an angle. He might like he see the cut before the defender. Like the defender don't know where he going because it's like he controlled the whole defense. So
I
that's
got
oh
a
good.
question on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, now I know why. I know, in my opinion, I know why Bijan nudged Barkley out, because Barkley is not a pass catcher
No, he ain't.
like Bijan.
Hey, we
Mm-hmm.
So,
saw what happened when he tried to catch a pass against us.
oh yeah. Well, it not just us, man. He drops quite a few key balls. But
Mm-hmm.
what separates him from Gibbs?
I think Gibbs got a little bit. Gibbs got the speed on him.
Gibbs, yeah,
Gibbs
that's all he
Gibbs.
really. I'm gonna tell you what
Go
I
ahead,
think separates, and then I'll let you go. Or matter of fact, no, you go first.
because I just feel like Gibbs don't really like going out there running routes. You get what I'm saying? But Gibbs got that takeoff. He fast as shit. You get what I'm saying? B John fast, but Gibbs Gibbs just got that speed on him. And then I don't know. They both decent. Like they not decent. They both good ass running backs. But B John is just he can really cut up, especially like where B John at right now with the situation he done had. Like Gibbs been in the playoffs. His situation kind of been more functional around him. B John ain't really, three different offensive coordinators, like coaching changes and all that. But I don't know. I just think Gibbs just got that speed on him. But B John got the receiving on him, the cuts. I don't know. You go ahead, Chandler. Cause I gotta watch more. I gotta watch Gibbs a little bit more though. I gotta watch him a little bit more.
Come on, Chandler.
What's up?
I thought you were gonna chime in on
Oh
what
yeah, yeah.
separates Bijan
I had
from
to say.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I think what separate. See, thing with Gibbs is this. Yeah, Gibbs is a very flashy player. He's very much electric, but he's almost I think he's like a, how do I describe it? He's almost like an Alvin Kamara on steroids in terms of his electricity. But man, Gibbs is fast. But see, the thing with Gibbs is this: number one, Gibbs is not a down and dirty guy. He's just not. Gibbs is all about the flash. Now we like Bijan at his best, when he's in his best position. He's just able to show off his flash, but Bijan can
Hmm.
block.
Yes, true.
I'm not too familiar with Gibbs's blocking game, but I don't think it's as good as Bijan's.
I
So when we're
I
talking
don't think
about
so. It's a good point.
when we're talking about that, that's what makes Bijan better than him automatically. Cuz
Second question.
what's up?
Second question.
Hmm.
Because I know you're finna keep going, but you're gonna. I think this is gonna kind of feed into what you was about to say. And Zay, you can answer this one too.
Hmm.
If Bijan was with the Lions, would he ever had better seasons? Past 2 seasons.
Then he did here.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, because like I'm big like B John situation is just everything around him just been kind of not everything because Drake London been decent, but shit kind of other than Drake London and the old line, it's just been too many inconsistencies for real. I feel like if you got an Raw, you got Jameson, what's they tight end Laporta, got Laporta over there, Jared Goff. I feel like he could have,
Yeah, I was getting ready
yeah,
to say I don't think so, but I think the only reason he may have had slightly better seasons is because you have to see. Let's be honest. Last year, outside of Bijan, the only guy you really had to focus on most of the time when he was there was Drake. You know, and you had to focus on Kyle a little bit, but the thing is over in Detroit, man. Even if okay, you say you got to focus on two other guys other than Bijan at most here, man. Over there, you got to focus on St. Brown. You got to focus on Laporta. You got to focus on Montgomery. See, man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
they
Bijan,
used them right. They used
exactly.
Montgomery and yeah,
They
better
would have
than
known
how
how to.
Algier and Bijan was
Bijan
used.
would have been better because his coaches would have been better.
And then
But
mind you,
look,
he would have had Ben
Montgomery
Johnson.
and Algier carries were almost the same, and the yards was less than 100. Um, but you know what? I think they used Montgomery more throughout the game
Right.
than Bijan. I mean, not than Algier.
Cause
They
it's like
used.
LJ
Go
was
ahead.
like you just seen him get used like in the fourth quarter.
He was the closer.
Yeah, but they didn't really try to put them both in the backfield, confuse the defense to really be like, all right, I don't know if it's gonna go Algier way, B John way. You get what I'm saying? It's just they ain't scheme that shit up right, like how Ben Johnson did with Montgomery and
That's why Bijan
Gibbs.
would have had a better season, had the better 2 seasons in Detroit than he did in Atlanta because of how his backup running back would have been used to complement what he's done, and to gain concerns from the defensive coordinators. Because like you said, man, if you don't know who gonna do what. If
Yep.
both of them boy, if Montgomery and Bijan was in the backfield, mm,
Come on.
even if Algie was over there with him, it would have been different.
Yeah,
I think it would have
Right.
been better.
and then let's play the reverse. Now, look, I actually really like Jameer Gibbs as a player. I do. I really like him a lot. If you switch Jameer Gibbs and Bijan, I think Gibbs would have been. I think Gibbs would have been really good here, but I don't think he would have been as great as Bijan. I think Gibbs might have given you more flash plays, but I don't know if Gibbs would have actually been as consistent to make men miss or pull off those big runs. Just always be reliable in the way that Bijan is.
Mm-mm.
I think
Oh yeah, of course, no,
Gibbs is
without
the
a
type of
doubt.
guy where, look, if Gibbs is corralled and Gibbs don't got anywhere to go, he Gibbs ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make none out of that situation.
Gibbs
That
can't
shit.
create lanes for himself. Bijan can create lanes. That's another reason. Bijan creates lanes for himself.
So what you're saying is, um, Bijan got to work has been working really really hard to get what he has. Versus if he was somewhere else, he would it probably would have been easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Am
cause
I hearing that?
yeah, cause I pulled up what Gibbs' first year, cause you see the whole offense. You see Jared Goff, 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 picks. Montgomery, this year one for Gibbs. Montgomery, 1,015 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, 14 games. Gibbs had 945 yards, 10 touchdowns, and then 52
Wow,
receptions for 316. And then you still had Amon St. Brown around what 1,515 yards and 10 touchdowns. The ball getting spread around.
that's
You look,
wicked, man.
you get what I'm saying? You look at Bijan rookie year with Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone, and they weren't spreading that ball around like
Hey,
that.
the way they tried to use Bijan that year, it was honestly criminal. Because, man,
It was.
Bijan only had 900 yards rushing that year. And look, that goes to show you how bad the coaching was. Bijan that year should have already. See, here's the thing also. Bijan's already better than Gibbs, and Bijan was actually set back because when he first got here, the coaches didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were really trying to overcomplicate shit.
Cause it just felt like they tried to, like you said, it was just like they was holding him back and didn't really want him to. They didn't want to use him in the pass game. They didn't really use his skill set as much as they kept emphasizing during the draft. Because I'm like, all right, if you're gonna use him as a wide receiver, put him out there as a receiver. All right, then put Tyler in the backfield, had Bijan out there wide receiver, motion him, just try to confuse the offense. It was just every time it was an end around. You knew Bijan was getting that ball. You get what I'm saying? It's like every time wherever Bijan went, you knew the ball was going his way. It was just we had too many. He had too many predictable play callers. It was like they just kept relying on Bijan too much. That's why I'm just hoping like what we bringing in right now got Zachariah Branch, Dotson, Zakir, even though they not the biggest, flashiest names, but if they can at least get open, you get what I'm saying? It can open the offense up a little bit more for him. You get what I'm saying? So it's just not looking like it's just B John or wherever Charlie Warner going. That's where the ball going. You get what I'm saying? It was just that offense was just it was just too predictable. Like ain't no way I'm looking at the Detroit Lions offenses and you seeing two running backs down there running 1,000 yards, tight end still eating. You get what I'm saying? Like they having 10 touchdowns and shit like that. Like you can spread the ball. It's just not that play calling. Ain't no good play calling to me. Like you ain't really put B John in the best situation to really succeed for real.
Man, hey, look. And see, that's the thing also. That's really what, if you think about, man, there's several reasons why the last two coaches that we've had prior to Stefanski got out as fast as they did. Number one was obviously they didn't figure out the quarterback, but number two, you have a guy like Bijan on this team, and this guy could be, this guy could really be the difference maker, and you still can't muster up more than 8 wins. You got this guy on the team. And it ain't like he's the only one you got either. You got Drake on the team. You got Kyle Pitts here. You got all these guys. You got a defense ass pieces on it. And in this weak ass division, you can't manage to muster up more than 8 wins. You got to get going,
Exactly.
man.
And mind you, the Lions was in the NFC North doing this shit.
Because I like to actually talk about this. I also say this. Look, I tell people this. I say if you really think about it, these last few years, with maybe the exception of 2024, but especially last year in particular,
Mm-hmm.
we were a 5-win team last year. We were a 5-win team. Something called winflation happened, where late in the year they decided that they were going to try and play hard. I don't know if they were playing hard for Raheem, playing hard for each other, or whatever. That 8 wins, that don't tell the whole story. We should have been better than an 8-win team, but in reality, we were actually worse than an 8-win team.
Yeah. 'Cause I told folks like after that Carolina game, like watching that shit, I'm like, yeah, I don't. I'm like, man, this team, because you just see certain little ways in a team, and just even in that game, even though it was 30-0, but that shit was still a winnable game. As crazy as it sounds, because what at the half it was only 10-0, and I think we got the ball back to start out the half. If if I'm wrong or not, but the game was still winnable. Bryce Young didn't have the type of game he had in that second game. You get what I'm saying?
Oh
It was just they
yeah,
defense was decent.
it was absolutely a winnable game. But here's the problem. This is what that Carolina game showed. It showed just how incompetent everything is, and it showed
Right.
it really showed how fragile shit was under Raheem. Because and see once again, it showed that they didn't have the kicking situation thought out at all from the get go. It showed that Michael Penix clearly wasn't as sharp in his mind as we were told he was, and as he probably even thought he was. They didn't. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone was out of place. And see, I don't care how much talent you have. At the end of the day, if people are out of place and not where they need to be, you know, you're gonna have failure.
For sure. That game, it was just you just reading the body language of the players and just
That's all you had to
even
do.
at it was just nasty. I was like, it just ain't look. It didn't give you a lot of even though it was like week 3. But you can look at certain games and can just tell, like, man, I don't throughout a whole season, especially who we lost to. You get what I'm saying? It just ain't because they just came off losing to like they even lost to the Cardinals or somebody, and they ain't really look that good in that game. And they come out in that game just blow us out. And I'm like, bro, we like that shit just weird, bro. It was just too much inconsistencies for real. Like just one game you look hot, another game you flat. It was just I could. It was hard. It was a hard watch last year. That team was hard to watch. It really was.
Very hard to watch. Hey, look, even at points, when they did win games late in the year, it was still hard to watch. I mean, look, still very. It
Yeah,
was very. Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The only reason we even won those final four games is because one of those games Kyle Pitts had his career game, and two of those games, Bijan absolutely went off, and then I mean we won the game versus New Orleans. I mean just because we our defense was able to keep that motherfucker at quarterback in check enough. It was a close game. That was just a sloppy game. That's why, man, there was nothing impressive about that 4 game winning streak.
it wasn't. Yeah,
Matter
because we
matter
spoke
of
about that
fact,
before.
matter of fact, if we gonna really look at it, the wins the wins almost couldn't even, the way that the team was trying to lose those games and just some of the bullshit at times,
Hmm.
even though the win is what you look at, you remember that. See, that's why I say, y'all, I don't think everyone watches games. I don't think people watch games because they don't pay
You know.
attention. Has everyone forgotten that in that Tampa game we had 20 penalties?
Yeah, I was just ready to say like AJ had like hella holding penalties. Motherfucker, I think Jake Matthews still jumping off sides. We was losing in that game. You get what I'm saying?
I,
And we had to
and
come back.
and in the Rams game too. Like that, and see that Rams game early on in that game, that was actually looking like it could be a crown jewel moment for those guys to have saved their job. But the way they were trying to blow that game, and OG knows what I'm talking about because he's told me. And we were on the phone. We were talking right after that game too. We were like, man, they were trying to lose this game. They were trying to lose. It was even hard to be excited when the game was over and we won because they were trying to lose the fucking game.
Shit, and the season was
I,
already over.
I stayed in my seat for a little while. And look, I think I pulled a muscle in my neck after that game, boy. They just had, I said, man, just make one play.
Yep. It was just too much on B John. I'm like, all right, he running 200 yards on them niggas, but it's just like, all right, like I'm pretty sure the front office, them folks upstairs, they like, yes, we know B John can do what B John gonna do. Like he's our best player. Yes, I expect him. Like it's like down there at that point, you kind of expect him to have performances like that once in a blue moon. But when it's just everybody else was shut down, Drake ain't really have his best game that game. Kyle Pitts ain't really have his best game. It's just like, all right, it's just looking like one of them games. It looked just like that Bills game from early on. You feel me? So it's just like, how can I build off of that? It wasn't really nothing convincing in none of them games. Even in that Cardinals game, like you could have still lost that game. Like that game was close.
They could have lost. They could have lost every single game they played those last four games. There's not one win that was convincing. One win that was even satisfying. Shit. Like
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
I don't know. That's why I was shocked. Like I was so shocked when we won that game and still like proceeded to still fire Terry and Raheem. You get what I'm saying? I ain't one of them fans celebrating hallelujah. They fired. It's like damn. Like I just ain't see that shit coming at all. Cause I'm like shit. I'm like, all right, they might give either Terry gonna get another chance at it or Raheem. I knew one of them was gonna be gone. I thought Terry was probably gonna be the odd man out, but I ain't think both of them. But it was just
It would have made
something
no
had to
sense.
be done.
It would have made no sense to get rid of Terry but keep Raheem's ass around.
Yeah, cause you
Now,
don't
now,
even know.
now, the reason that I'm gonna tell y'all, the reason that Raheem got the job is just because Raheem is very good at making connections, and that's a trait. Look, if you can make connections with people, sometimes it's all about who you know, how you know, and how you can sell yourself. I'll give Raheem credit, and he's clearly very confident in himself when he's feeling himself, and he's probably able to. Man, that's why I always used to joke Raheem should run for president. Because I guarantee you, he could be able to sell enough of the country that he could probably actually really garner a base behind him if he decided to run for president. The thing with Terry had been taken because a lot of the decisions that the Falcons made, the Kirk Cousins decision, the Desmond Ritter stuff, trading up for JPJ, people didn't blame Raheem for that. They blamed Terry. You could blame Raheem for all the stuff that happened on the field, but also because a lot of people respected Raheem, they weren't going to put it all on Raheem. If anything, people were probably fooled by the fact, that they thought Terry was, all the reason for the Falcons' failures. He wasn't. Raheem was absolutely incompetent. He should have never been hired. But because of the decisions that Terry made as GM, there's a reason why Raheem Morris is a defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and Terry Fontenot is having to do podcasts to keep food on the table.
Yeah, it's crazy because I ain't gonna lie, like this a little off topic, but it was some page. It's this reporter. I know it's off topic, but it's this reporter for the 49ers. And bro, he kind of got checked by some player that was on their team. He did a podcast, the player checked him, but he be on Kyle Shanahan ass, bro. Like he just I forgot what is his name, bro. His name like John. I want y'all to figure. It's Grant. What is his name, bro? It's like Grant Khan or something like that. He a reporter for San Francisco. But like, I just looked through his channel and just seeing him just basically break down Shanahan offense, even in the draft, because he went to the press conference and asked him like, why did y'all reach? Like, why do y'all be reaching on so many players? Like, he asked him like, why did you reach on Trey Lance? And I was like, damn. Because it's like, don't get me wrong, like Kyle Shanahan, he a good coach, but I just think them folks in San Francisco, they trying to win. And then I'm like, all right, I just want to see how he gonna be asking questions to Raheem when he get there. If the defense ain't gonna get right. Cause I'm like, man, y'all gotta look into him, bro. Y'all gotta look for yourself, bro. 'Cause that reporter crazy, bro. He be calling Kyle Shanahan out every chance he get the chance to call him out, bro. That shit, yo, that shit really crazy. I was watching this morning, bro. Like y'all gotta watch that, bro. But I know that shit was off topic, but it just we just done had some fucking crazy coaches throughout the years, bro. And it just you starting to see like Mike McDaniel, all them guys, like even though they been decent, but they ain't really been getting it done like how they should have been in the situations they been at. And they been on all coaching staff. So I don't know, Chandler. This football shit really crazy, bro. Like that
Hey,
shit really crazy.
yeah, cause like you got a lot of motherfuckers that either they're in the game, and this ain't no shot at any one particular year. I'm talking about, man, you go from, obviously the NFL, college, high school, whatever. You got a lot of motherfuckers
Mhm.
that they're coaching the game or they're playing the game and their hearts really aren't into it. But more importantly, the big issue is you got people out here who they're trying to talk about the game, and they're trying to run football channels, but yet they don't know shit. They don't know what they're talking about, and they've never even been around. It's probably been years since they've been around a football environment, if ever.
Mhm. That shit crazy. It's just that's why I was just kind of glad that we didn't like go and hire people that got familiarity with a Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Like we kind of trying to do something different, but we it's just you still got. I'm on the wait and see game now, bro. I don't want like it's hard for me to put out expectations. It's just like we know the talent of this team, but can they can they finally just squeak out two more wins, bro? That's all I ask for. Just win two more games, bro. More than what you already been doing. You can win two more games. That's not a hard ask. Just two more games. I'm not saying a Super Bowl, none of that. You can just win two more. That's it.
Shit.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Well, hey man, I think I'm gonna. How long we been running this shit for? Over 2 hours.
Yeah, I got on here like 12.
Yeah, shit. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm about to have
because
to.
I'm about to park too, so I was gonna get off anyway.
Hey, you
Oh
where
yeah.
you gonna be at tonight?
Going to a concert.
All right. Hey, who you going to see? Who is it? Some good music? Well, they got some good music for OGs going.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
shoot, y'all got anything else to say?
Layla
Shit.
Hathaway in October, London.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey man, hey look, that's what. Hey man, when you retire, AJ and Chandler, when you retire, man, you got to do stuff like that, man. You got to get outside your comfort zone. And
Hmm.
I like music, but they some of the artists, they kind of be off my radar. So I'm gonna go listen to some music that I don't normally listen to. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna be a good experience.
Oh, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Getting outside,
Oh yeah,
getting outside, listening. Because sometimes, even though sometimes these artists they be having like different sound, but they be saying something in their lyrics though. They lyrics be saying a lot though.
exactly.
Hell yeah, but man, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's always a pleasure, man. I appreciate y'all as
Hey,
always.
y'all know what it is, man. You ain't gotta go home.